Oh, now we are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So we're getting into the first picks and bans of the tournament. Right now, it is Los Payasos versus Horizon Line Gaming
They
Dawn.
banned 20.
Yeah.
Very strong jungler in the current meta. Super tanky. Really hard to deal with.
Okay. So,
Exceptional team fighter. All in all, it's a pretty solid first ban that covers everything. Rakan, really hard to react to engage coming out from Rakan. It's instantaneous. It's a strong laner. And it also breaks up the lover's lane, if you will, the Rakan Zaya combo that's really hard to deal with.
yeah. It's kind of interesting to see how these bans are kind of getting set up right now.
Twisted Fate, TF ban. TF pressures the map really well. His ultimate allows him to gank side lanes except at any time.
Yeah, it's actually kind of odd, though.
He's really good at controlling the map.
Yeah, he's really good at controlling the map, but I wouldn't necessarily have thought that would have been a significant issue for either team, in all honesty. Twisted Fate typically, he's kind of been out of meta for a while, so it's kind of odd to see that ban. Then you have a Ari following up right behind that. Another kind of off-putting ban, but then again, that might be more targeted towards Platypus in this situation.
Ash ban. Long range engage from the AD carry role, as well as Hawkshot grants vision of the jungler if you use it properly. Warwick ban. I'm not really sure about the Warwick.
Yeah,
ban. It seems a little odd to me.
Yeah, like some of these have to either be targeted or some of these have to be.
It could just be somebody that somebody does. It could just be a champion that somebody doesn't want to deal with.
Right. That has to be what's going on here.
In which case, I'm expecting a Fizz ban. Trundle pick. So Trundle is an general all-purpose lane dominator top lane. He does really well into tanks. Tanks are really strong in the current meta.
Right.
So, So this is a split push pressure here. Trundle's going to split push a lot, and it's going to be really hard to deal with him. You might have to send up 2, maybe 3. You're going to have to send up at least 2, maybe even 3 people to get with him. Jarvan, I'm expecting that could be Jarvan top, could be Jarvan jungle. But it's a strong engage, frontline tank, strong team fighting ultimate, and he's good at making picks.
Okay. So let's go ahead and see what this next pick. But yeah, like the bans so far have been kind of interesting in terms of what each team thinks is kind of important to get rid of.
Talia. So that's another roaming mid.
Yeah.
High damage mage, great mobility, super strong wave clear. I'm expecting to see this Talia to roam a lot.
Yeah, I am.
Pressure the bot lane a bit.
I'm saying right now it looks like they're more setting up towards like a standard team fighting composition a little bit, because Talia is definitely going to be able to help with the peel for ADC along with J4.
Vel'Koz.
Vel'Koz pick. That's a little terrifying.
Really strong ultimate. We're not sure if it's going to be a mid or support Vel'Koz. If it's support, it's a ton of magic damage coming out of the support role.
Right.
And a decent amount of true damage.
Right. Although, I feel like that's more of a cheese supporting situation like this, because I feel like with organized tournament play, teams tend to have champions kind of stick to their normal role.
With the Thresh pickup, I'm expecting a mid Vel'Koz. It's a ton of team fight damage, a lot of AP. He doesn't actually scale that well with AP, so it's interesting. So I'm expecting the Thresh to create a ton of map pressure and make a lot of picks.
Okay. But yeah, that team composition is kind of starting to look like more of a. They're going for picks rather than actually wanting to get a full fight
and
going.
And a Volibear. No. Varus. Okay.
Okay. So
Varus. So once again, you have a strong laner in Varus. He has a long auto attack range, fairly long auto attack range, and high engage and crowd control from his ultimate.
Right. So right now it's definitely looking like they're looking more for a team fight situation rather than a
banning Tristana. Tristana's probably the strongest AD carry right now, so this makes sense to me. She's super good at pushing towers, and from the looks of it, they still need a AD carry and a jungler of their own, unless they want to run Trundle in the jungle, which isn't really that strong. Janna,
it's a good ban.
Yes,
Janna's definitely been super important. Well, she's been important for like the longest time in terms of having a support that has really strong disengage. and potentially really strong engage with the right item builds and things of that nature. So gonna have to see what is necessarily gonna happen in terms of this last ban.
Wonder what their last ban is going to be here.
Looks like
Orianna. And Orianna. So banning Orianna, you have quite That's interesting because they've already revealed their mid laner and Lulu. So support bans coming out from Los Payasos.
Yeah.
So they're banning out a lot of the strong Ardent Center supports right now.
Pretty much. The question is, who is...
However, on this patch, Ardent Center is nerfed, so it's not quite as important as it has been in the past.
Yeah, but at the same time, you also have to keep in consideration the fact that there's always that attack speed boost, and an attack speed boost for a team of like that, with J4, Varus, and Gnar.
Kallista's up. Kallista Thresh, the ungankable powerhouse lane, is there. Gnar Trundle. So Gnar versus Trundle is a matchup that Gnar is a laner which can match up fairly well versus Trundle. He has really strong laning. His passive gives him more than enough damage to actually take down Trundle for a while. And a Nocturne pick coming through. Ooh, this is...
Ooh, yeah. I wonder if they're going to try and pull that level...
Is this Nocturne going to come out?
Yeah, is this Nocturne going to be the level 6 and 5 minute Nocturne that we saw back at Worlds a few weeks ago?
That's going to be extremely impressive if they can pull that off.
Actually, that's...
So looking at Los Payasos, they have... They have a mostly physical damage lineup.
Right.
Their only source of magical damage is Vel'Koz and Soraka coming through. So looking at these two team compositions, I'm expecting Los Payasos to do split pushing with the Trundle and TP into team fights if they have to. They have a good pick composition lineup with Nocturne and Thresh. Thresh can set up CC very well to get picks with his hook.
Yeah.
And the Nocturne ultimate, is that a top lane Nocturne?
It looks like it is.
That is interesting.
Huh.
I was not expecting that. But top lane Nocturne is still... I actually don't have much experience with this pick.
In all honesty, looking at the Nocturne versus the Gnar, I honestly would give that advantage to Gnar just because he still has the range starting off. Range is always an advantage over a melee champion, regardless of whatever power they might have or power spikes they might have access to, especially in Nocturne's situation because he won't be able to actually dive or go in on Gnar until he gets his 6. And at that point, Gnar kind of expects it, so he's kind of going to be running his rage as decently as possible to make sure he can take advantage of the fact that if Nocturne goes in, I can go ahead, turn into Big Gnar, get my health back that I might have just lost, and slam him straight into a wall. So, in all honesty, I expect Trundle to actually be ganking top quite a bit.
It's a long lane. Not only that, but they're on blue side. So you have the tri-brush, you can come in from behind and get a better angle on the gank in the top lane.
You said very true. So
and not to mention Gnar's jump has a fairly long cooldown. It's really exploitable.
Right.
But let's talk about team fights here. I really love Horizon Line's team fighting. They have the Narvin combo.
True.
Gnar has... Jarvan jumps in, puts in the Cataclysm, and it gives Gnar all the walls he needs to stun people on.
Right.
They have the engage to follow up from Varus to CC them even more and root them in.
Right.
They have Soraka to drop the silence field under them. So if all goes according to plan, Horizon Line's team fighting is significantly stronger based on compositions.
And I'm not even going to lie, I didn't even think about that, but Gnar has 2 walls he can operate off of. He has the J4 wall and the Talia wall to actually work with.
That too.
So I haven't actually heard anyone talk about the Gnar Talia combo before. So
I haven't either. Usually when I see people use Talia, they use a great wall of zoning to cut people off from the inhibitor when they go to push into the base.
Right. But
not only that, but the Soraka pick actually helps to nullify some of the assassination global power coming off of the Nocturne.
Right.
Nocturne ults in, and there's a good chance that the Soraka just hits Wish, and the gank doesn't go quite as well. I mean, it's still a super powerful ultimate and a ton of damage coming out, especially if he ganks mid and they have the Vel'Koz disintegration ray coming in on top of it.
Right.
But the Wish could still contribute somewhat to it.
Right. And in terms of the blue team, we definitely see a lot of the pick situation going on. There's no real getting around it. Like, they might be okay in some team fight situations, but in all honesty, they're going to be looking to trying to catch the Horizon Line Gaming in somewhat of a team fighting disadvantage. I'm going to say you got the true damage potential coming out from Vel'Koz, so he'll be able to shred some of the tanks. So if J4 or Gnar don't necessarily get in on the Vel'Koz, they definitely can be shredded out very quickly, especially considering you have the Trundle on top of that, being able to steal one of those guys' stats. So
my only concern about them shredding tanks is Kalista doesn't kill tanks very well. That being said, Kalista and Thresh is one of the most brutal bot lanes you could possibly lane against, especially considering the fact that Thresh is taking Ignite. So I'm expecting Los Payasos to really play around the bot side more.
Yeah, that also does seem like that might be a thing that's about to happen as the game
Now we're going to get into the game here.
All right, so we're gonna see what everyone decides to do. Looks like we got pretty standard opening, or got a pretty standard.
I'd like to
opening
point
for
out
the
that
most
Thresh
part.
is starting Relic Shield instead of what is sometimes done as, sometimes they go Ancient Coin, but he's starting Relic Shield, which to me points out that they want the increased health on their support to fight more.
Right, they're looking more towards aiming them towards tank stats.
So fairly defensible positions from Horizon Line. They're spreading out to cover all of their entrances to their jungle, and it looks like Los Payasos wants to invade, maybe to get some deep vision, maybe to get a kill. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, but it looks like if looks like they need to pay attention. It looks like Varus is running for his life. He goes ahead and gets hooked, and that is pretty much it for him. First blood goes to Kalista.
It's really greedy to hang on to the flash there. I really think he should have flashed, especially considering he gave first blood over to Kalista. She recalled and got a first item dagger, which is really gonna up her damage because she gets to stack put more spears in, which can up her rend, and especially considering that that's already a really difficult lane to lane against in the first place.
Right. Also, kind of wondering if Varus actually saw them as they were moving forward.
So they got deep vision. Both teams got vision on the opposing blue buff, so they'll be able to see when the jungler goes to do it. Neither team both teams are doing red buff starts, which is going to put Trundle on the top side of the map to gank for Nocturne, and if he does a standard clear, and Jarvan on the bot side of the map if he does a standard clear.
Yeah, but yeah, that definitely, in all honesty, that probably got a little bit into the minds of Horizon Line Gaming just then, having your AD carry die that quickly in a situation that was pretty hopeless is not necessarily a good way to start a tournament. But at the same time, it's definitely a quick kind of wake up to reality kind of situation. You realize that you're actually playing in a serious game against a very, very serious team, and hopefully Horizon Line Gaming will be able to make something come up from that.
That was a nice dodge.
Oops. Oh, and the J. Oh, and nice burning of the flash by J.
And they're gonna turn it. They're gonna turn it.
Yeah, now it looks like J4
I think they're gonna get out.
Running, and it looks like Talia's in a really odd situation. She almost could have gotten cut off, but she ends up making it out.
Important thing there is there's no flash mid on the Vel'Koz and no flash on the Jarvan.
Right.
So that's a very easy return gank for Jarvan if he wants to do it. Vel'Koz is extremely immobile. Talia has decent gank set up with the seismic shove. But the important thing is that Jarvan has really good ganks with the flag and drag knockup.
Right. All right, and it looks like everyone is starting to kind of get into the groove of things right now. Callista's starting off with a all right lead against Varus right now, and it looks like Nocturne's going in on Gnar. Gnar's trying to do his thing, trying to throw boomerangs, but unable to get that third one off. Chances are probably could have killed Nocturne, but Nocturne flashes in and gets the kill on Gnar.
So Gnar unfortunately took a trade in too many minions, so he took too much minion damage there. That is the biggest mistake. He had a 1-level lead there as well, so I was actually expecting it to go better the other way, but to go more towards the Gnar favored matchup, especially with a good stun.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he
lost track of him in the bush.
Lost track of him in the bush and took too much creep damage.
Yeah, because if he had actually been able to get that last auto attack off, chances are that would have gotten the final killing blow on Nocturne at that point. So,
and after that, Gnar bought a ruby crystal, so building up towards that phage.
So trying to work on those tank stats a little bit too at the same time. So definitely a good move on his part, I think. You say, but yeah, Gnar is actually kind of slowing.
So it looks like Trundle is Trundle's in the bot lane in a bush. I think he's just down there to see if to counter gank, because given how pushed that lane is, it's actually gonna be pretty hard to get a successful gank off, especially when there's a ton of vision in that forward bush.
Right. Although it looks like Talia's going in on Vel'Koz a little bit. She did throw quite a bit of damage. Oh, and all the minions saved.
TP coming in.
This is not good for Talia or J4 in this situation. Nocturne is coming through. He teleports down. He's taking rocks to the face. I don't know if Talia's going to be able to get out of this, but she is able to get Nocturne off of her. Right now, she is running, throwing rocks back, trying to see if she can't do something about Nocturne. Nocturne gets the kill on J4. Will Talia be able to get out of this? No, she will not. Gnar is standing by, looking like he wants to go ahead and start a fight, but he is going to be backing off, it seems, and that will be a 2-0 trade for Los Payasos.
The biggest problem there was they disrespected the Nocturne TP. They pushed a little too hard, took too much damage running out. I actually think that after they pushed it out, they probably could have turned and probably killed the Vel'Koz. So Nocturne bought a bought a Dirk on his first back, so building up towards I'm assuming a Duskblade first item.
I could definitely see that. Like the armor pin will
especially because when he
useful.
uses his ultimate, everybody loses visions and instantly procs a Duskblade again.
Oh wow, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. It's actually kind of clever on Nocturne's part.
So what you can do is if you are able to just get the Duskblade proc without using your ultimate, you can smack somebody, get the Duskblade proc, and then use your ultimate. Duskblade reapplies, ulti in on them, smack them again, and get the double Duskblade proc, which does a ludicrous amount of damage.
I mean, at that point, that person's probably not that long for living, so definitely a smart move on the Nocturne's part to take advantage of that.
Looks like Jarvan is looking for a gank bot or a counter gank.
There he goes, and he goes in.
Misses the flag and drag, gets flayed back.
Oh.
Oop, Talia.
And Talia looks like she's going to go down to the Vel'Koz ult with the gank from Trundle. Say a lot of stuff's going on right now. I'm going to say Los Payasos is definitely starting to show the advantage that they're slowly starting to gain. Right now, they are currently almost at a 4K gold lead with a 5-0 KDA right now. Most of the kills are settled on Nocturne, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No,
but
Nocturne's one of those champions that really needs to be ahead in order to function super well, because he's a suicide missile when he goes in. If he doesn't actually get a kill when he goes in, he just dies, especially if he's going damage Nocturne like he is. What I want to see, Horizon Lion TP bot. And is he gonna be able to get in there before his ult? Nope, his passive expires. No ult. And the Callista.
This is not turning out good.
Nope. Soraka goes down.
I'm gonna say Soraka goes ahead and goes down. Fresh is able to get out of this, but it looks like Gnar will not. Varus gets pinned by the
Talia wall coming through.
Oh, and the Talia wall unfortunately blocks off the Trundle.
It does stop
In
the
terms of getting them
it does
out.
stop the tower dive though.
Right, it does stop the tower dive, but it doesn't necessarily lead to a kill for Horizon Line Gaming Dawn. So it's definitely not looking like a great situation right now with Gnar and Soraka going down in that last team fight. That ends up changing the KDA, or the kills, I guess, to a 7-0 advantage for Los Payasos. And here comes Nocturne, and Vel'Koz gets the kill.
So now we're up to a 6,000 gold for Las Payasos. 6,000 gold lead.
And all of the kills are actually on the carries, so this is definitely turning out to be a worst case scenario for Horizon Line Gaming Dawn right now.
Mobility boots finished for Thresh, so so Thresh is able to roam and influence the map more. The Gnar is sitting on a Jarm's fist to the Berserker Greaves, and Dirk and Warhammer for Nocturne.
So definitely starting to see that advantage being built up for this Nocturne. And it also looks like Gnar is going to have to give up that top tower just because Trundle and Vel'Koz were up there ready to kind of pounce on him once that tower went down. And here we go. We got another gank and bot. J4 is coming, and he goes ahead, throws down that dragon flag, and
Callista goes down.
Yeah, Varus gets the first kill for Horizon Line Gaming Dawn. Definitely needed that. Definitely is going to be helpful for trying to get them back into this game. Another thing that they might want to consider doing right now actually is going for this Ocean Drake, considering looks like Los Payasos is going for, in fact, this Rift Herald.
So I'd like to point out the beautiful stacking of crowd control in that gank. They had the Varus ult come through. When that expired, the Soraka silence field was down, so Callista couldn't actually flash out of it to avoid the flag and drag from Jarvan.
Right. I'm going to say that was really well placed, really well worked out.
Jarvan has ultimate, and Thresh is flashless. So but then again, it's also a Callista lane, so
right.
Given that it's a Callista lane, she just ulties and he gets out for free.
Right, pretty much. Like, I think that was what they were initially doing with that first team fight where Soraka and Gnar ended up dying. Thresh definitely went way farther ahead than he needed to, but he knew that Callista would just ult and get him out. But it looks like now Los Payasos is going to be taking this Ocean Drake. Definitely going to be helpful for them as...
Uncontested Ocean Drake.
Yeah, definitely going to be helpful for them as it seems like Horizon Line Gaming's team comp is more of a poke composition.
A TP from Nocturne to save that top lane tower. And he's... Ooh. Looks like Gnar's going to go down here.
Yeah, Gnar's not going to be
Does
able
he have
to
to burn the ultimate for it?
Nope. Not at all. Nocturne has
and they're putting down Rift Herald. The Talia wall to help zone out
Oh.
and try to keep that tower alive. Beautiful hook coming in, and Jarvan goes down.
Yeah, and Trundle is going to get that kill on the J4. It looks like Trundle is also going to take the tower down. He's going to take down the Varus. Like, Horizon Line Gaming Dawn is in complete and total retreat right now as Trundle is still chasing after. He's going after Talia, but Thresh throwing his death sentence out, unable to land and connect. There is a Rift Herald coming down this bot lane. It's not looking so great right now for Horizon Line Gaming Dawn. They're gonna lose this inner bot tower.
Getting the top tower.
Nocturne is going in on Gnar. Gnar needs to stay under that tower, otherwise he's gonna die. And and it looks like
a hook on the...
and here
Jarvan's
comes
going in.
J4 with the ult. Wow, quite a bit of damage came out from that Varus. And it looks like Soraka's going to be able to make it out with just a sliver of health as Trundle is still going to try and continue to push this lane out. All right, so...
I can't help feeling that the Warrior on... Because it looks like Jarvan's going for Warrior. I think Cinderhulk would have probably been a better choice here because they're not going to really be lacking damage with their composition. But they are going to be lacking tank stats.
Right. That is definitely something that seems to be in dire need for Horizon Line Gaming in this situation. They can't stay alive fast enough, so they kind of need someone to kind of soak up as much damage as they possibly can. Otherwise, things are not going to... The chances of things getting any better are going to be kind of slim.
So we're looking at a 9,000 gold lead here. Like if comparing items across the board, we have a finished Morello Namicon on Vel'Koz, compared to just a lost chapter on Talia.
Ooh.
A finished Blade of the Ruined King on Callista, to just Rageblade components on Varus.
Right.
A Cinder Hulk Tiamat on Trundle, compared to not even a finished jungle item on Jarvan.
Right.
And that Nocturne is really scary right now.
Right.
I don't see who's gonna stop this Nocturne. You really can't send anybody on Horizon Line to stop this Nocturne split push. You're just gonna get dove.
Pretty much. And kind of to let people know how big the leads are in terms of their lane opponents right now. Like, if you look at the current gold allocation, like Nocturne has 3k gold advantage over Gnar, but we got another fight starting up. Looks like Thresh got caught a little bit. He went in after he got the nice hook on the Soraka, but it wasn't going to be something.
Ooh,
and
Varus.
Varus gets caught with the death sentence too, but he's able to kind of get out. But Vel'Koz is in a perfect position to go ahead and throw down the ult. I'm going to say Nocturne gets the kill on both Varus and Soraka, but Talia gets the kill on Nocturne.
He does eventually go down.
Looks like Gnar is going to be going down with
as well as Trundle.
You say Thresh with the kill on that Gnar. It looks like looks like Los Payasos is going to be able to take this inner mid tower and potentially move on to start working on this inhib tower immediately after. That
was a 2-for-3 trade in the end, as well as in a very bad spot for Los Payasos, but they are just so far ahead that they can get away and take a fight with like that and still come out on the better end of it. Right. The Nocturne's now finished a Yomu's Ghostblade.
So yeah, he's definitely working on his armor pin right now. Has Duskblade and Yomu, so he's definitely not going to be someone you can really fight all that much against. But yeah, getting back to my point from before, like, you look at the gold and it's not necessarily all that close. Even in supports, there's quite a bit of distance.
That poor Soraka. She's like, please, somebody send me my welfare check.
Like, she's definitely hurting for the gold right now, and that's definitely starting to show, like, in terms of the team fights right now.
Rageblade finish for Varus is huge, though.
Yeah, like, that's definitely going to be helpful. The problem is you have to go against a Callista with Blade of Ruin King and Berserker Greaves, and it looks like she's almost ready to start building her critical hit items as well. So that's definitely going to be a shaky situation. Even though Varus is starting to get some of his power spikes, it's still going to be one of those. We still got to be super attentive and super careful about what we're actually doing, because if we don't let Varus get all the hits in that he needs to, because currently he still is a single target ADC.
Blind hook to check a brush.
Yeah. And, and Vel'Koz might be getting a kill on the Soraka. Max length disintegration ray.
Just goes to show how far ahead he is that he could just one combo the Soraka from.
Pretty much. That's not.
He didn't even hit a Q. It was just an EW ult.
Yeah, that's not great. And J4 goes in. I don't know if that was necessarily a great move, but it looks like Varus goes ahead, throws in his ult, but Nocturne comes in. Trundle gets the kill on J4. Nocturne gets the kill on Varus. Thresh is getting the kill on Talia. It looks like Gnar is doing the best he possibly can, but he's unable to do too much more. Right now, the only one left on Team Horizon Line Gaming, Dawn's team, is Soraka, and I'm not sure that a Soraka is going to be able to defend against 5 super strong people right now.
Death timers are still really short, so they're going to be up in time, but They just lost a team fight completely under their own tower. That Nocturne dove in, completely suicide, one-shot the Varus, and then killed the Talia. So this is looking very grim for Horizon Line Gaming. They're now down 14,000 gold.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of a deficit. The only way to really be able to come back from something like that is to start to do things that will split up Los Payasos in terms of how they move around the map. They're going to have to catch individuals out, not pairs or three-man groups. They have to catch individuals, otherwise they will not have enough power to actually be able to override them in a fight. And it looks like Los Payasos is going to be going for this Cloud Dragon right now. Meanwhile, it looks like Nocturne's going after Soraka, and wow, that was so much damage. She lost half of her health off one hit.
It's a 4-level advantage for Nocturne, and he's got 2.5 items. But it looks like the Gnar is going in on the Nocturne here. He missed his stun, and it looks like he's going to get away.
Oh, like I thought he was going to be able to make it out of that. But
meanwhile,
and here comes Nocturne again. He went back in on the Soraka.
Oh, and Gnar misses his ultimate.
Oh.
And meanwhile, Los Payasos is pushing in the bot lane. This Nocturne is doing a terrific job in keeping Horizon Lions members busy, so that now their 4-man can just take bot lane for free.
Yeah, and I think Los Payasos is about to rotate towards mid, try and get that push now. There's quite a bit of side lane pressure at this point.
They might just take Baron. Baron's in 10 seconds.
Oh, wow. Baron's in 10 seconds. This is not looking so great for Horizon Line Gaming. Dawn, if Los Payasos goes ahead and takes that Baron, there's almost a 0% chance that they're going to be able to fight those guys off if they walk into the base at this point. Super minions this early in the game for any champion are going to be difficult, but Baroned up super minions, that's a fight that no one really wants to take or even look at.
So 14,000 gold lead for Los Payasos, zoning him out of the Baron pit.
And J4 gets caught. Oh, he throws the flag, but it might have been a little too early.
This is coming down to a smite fight by the looks of it. 50-50.
Oh,
and he goes too late.
It doesn't look like J4 is going to be... Oh, he is able to get out, but it looks like...
Nope.
Looks like
Max range
Vel'Koz
goes
ahead and gets that ult.
Through Thresh-in.
Gets thrown in, and Varus throws down some arrows trying to get some revenge for his fallen friend, but it looks like a lot of people are about to go down in this situation. Gnar is just a sliver of health. He goes down finally. Varus is trying to do some fancy flash work by getting over walls, but is unable to get away from the enemy team. Talia is the last one left. She's throwing as many rocks as she possibly can.
And Nocturne's going for the base.
We're going to say Nocturne is probably going to be able to end, but it also looks like Talia may be able to not get out of that situation. Looks like Nocturne just jumps to Soraka after J4 goes ahead and ultimates the wall. And it looks like this is going to be a sweeping victory.
Game 1 for Los Payasos.
Yeah, it's going to be a sweeping victory for Los Payasos.
I really feel like the biggest problem here was the Nocturne really was able to win that top lane handily. He got an early kill based on a bad trade in minion lane, in the minion wave, and then he was able to snowball his lead from there.
Right.
They also, Los Payasos played around in the 2v2, the mid-jungle matchup, around that part of the map much better, and they'll take a lead from there. And their bot lane was just stronger in the early game.
Right. It was stronger in the early game, and then it didn't help that they were able to necessarily get those small advantages that would have snowballed really quickly. Like you said, the Nocturne kill was really significant for how things worked in top lane, but also the fact that Nocturne was able to get a significant CS advantage after that, because I believe when Gnar came back to lane, there was a 30 CS difference at that point. Varus starting off with giving the first blood to the Los Payasos. Yeah, Los Payasos' Callista. She went back, got a dagger, and immediately started off with a small power spike of her own. it was those little things in the beginning that all of a sudden kind of snowballed into terrible outcomes for Horizon Line Gaming Dawn, and hopefully they take something from this match and are able to kind of work their way out of the losers bracket moving forward. That being said, we are going to take a small break as we get our next game prepared for. Hope you guys enjoyed the first one. Look forward to the rest of the day. So we'll see you in a few minutes.
I go to sleep, open my eyes, I'm looking down. Whenever you're calling, baby, you know I turn around. I see your face, not one sound. Whatever is calling, baby, you know I turn around. Baby, you know I turn around. Baby, you know I turn around.
Sound like
Baby, you know I turn around. Push the tempo. Push the push the I go to sleep. Open my eyes. Not one sound. Whatever is calling, baby, you know I'll turn around. Baby, you know I'll turn around. Whenever you're calling, baby, you know I turn around. Whatever is calling, baby, you know I turn around. 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 Baby, you know I turn around.
sound like
Baby, you know I turn. Push the tempo. Push the push the I go to sleep. Open my eyes. Not one sound. Whatever is calling, baby, you know I turn around. Baby, you know I turn around.
running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music, and I stay here for the night. I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind. Just for tonight, let your thoughts be free. Just for tonight, would you come with me? Just for tonight, let the lights get Just for tonight. Just for tonight, come with me blindly. You know when you keep running, but your legs are standing still. It's like you're stuck in a nightmare, but you keep doing it for the thrill. Well, this is reality, you only live it once, so wake up from your dream. But just for tonight, let the lines get blurred, let your thoughts be free, let your thoughts be free.
Wow.
I just wanna feel like this. I just wanna feel like this. I just wanna feel like this forever. I love it when my feet don't touch the ground, touch the ground. Don't wanna let these colors fade, kaleidoscopes inside my head. Just wanna feel like this. Just wanna feel like this forever.